Have you ever woken up in the morning, stretched your arms, and felt like your body was just a little more sluggish than it used to be? Maybe you're finding it hard to get out of bed, or you catch yourself thinking, where did all that energy go? You're not alone. Aging is a natural process, but that doesn't mean we have to accept feeling tired, achy, or unmotivated. The good news is there are simple things we can do right now to feel healthier, more vibrant, and even add years to our lives. But just as good habits can make us stronger, there are some dangerous habits that could be doing the opposite, slowly draining our health, energy, and longevity without us even realizing it. Today, we're going to talk about 4 habits that might be cutting your years short, and most importantly, how to quit them so you can live longer and feel better every single day. Some of these might surprise you, but once you become aware of them, you'll have the power to make small changes that lead to a big difference. So stick with me and let's get started. Oh, and before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about helping you live your best life at any age. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on more tips for a healthier, happier life. And if any of these habits sound familiar, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Now, let's talk about the first dangerous habit that could be quietly taking a toll on your health: sitting too much. It sounds harmless, right? After all, we all love a good rest, especially after a long day. But here's the problem. Our bodies were made to move. When we sit for long periods, especially without stretching or getting up regularly, it affects everything. It slows down circulation, weakens our muscles, and even increases the risk of serious conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and dementia. Studies show that prolonged sitting can take years off your life, even if you exercise daily. Think about that. Just one habit, something as simple as too much sitting, can undo the benefits of a morning walk or a workout. Now, I'm not saying you should never relax. Of course, we all need to rest, but the key is balance. If you find yourself sitting for hours at a time, whether watching TV, reading, or scrolling on your phone, try this. Set a reminder to stand up every 30 minutes. Walk around the house, stretch your legs, or even do some light exercises. If you're watching TV, stand up during commercials. Small movements like this keep your blood flowing, help maintain your strength, and reduce the risk of health issues. And if you have trouble remembering to move, try this little trick. Place a glass of water on the other side of the room. That way, you'll have to get up to drink, which not only keeps you hydrated, but also naturally encourages movement. 2 birds, 1 stone. Now, let's move on to the second dangerous habit that could be quietly harming your body: poor sleep. We've all had those nights where we toss and turn, staring at the ceiling, waiting for sleep to come. But did you know that regularly missing out on quality sleep doesn't just leave you feeling groggy? It can actually shorten your lifespan. Sleep is when your body repairs itself. It's when your brain clears out toxins, your heart gets a break, and your immune system strengthens. Without good sleep, your body starts to wear down faster. A lot of people think, I'm older, I don't need as much sleep as I used to. But that's not true. While sleep patterns may change with age, the need for deep, restorative sleep never goes away. So if you're struggling with restless nights, here's what might help. First, avoid screens, like your phone or TV, at least an hour before bed. The blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, making it harder to fall asleep. Second, create a bedtime routine. It might sound simple, but go to bed at the same time every night helps train your body to recognize when it's time to sleep. Try adding a calming ritual. maybe a warm cup of herbal tea, soft music, or reading a book. And finally, pay attention to what you eat and drink before bed. Caffeine, alcohol, and heavy meals too close to bedtime can keep you awake longer than you'd like. Instead, opt for something light, like a banana or a handful of nuts, which contain natural sleep-promoting nutrients. Making these small changes can lead to deeper, more restful sleep, and that alone can add years to your life. Now that we've talked about movement and sleep, let's dive into another habit that might be sneaking into your daily routine without you even realizing it. Now that we've talked about movement and sleep, let's dive into another habit that might be sneaking into your daily routine without you even realizing it. Consuming too much processed sugar. Sugar is everywhere. It's in your morning coffee, your afternoon snack, even in foods that don't taste sweet, like bread, pasta sauce, and salad dressings. And while a little sugar here and there won't hurt, too much can be a silent killer. Excess sugar contributes to weight gain, inflammation, and insulin resistance, all of which increase the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I don't eat that much sugar. And maybe that's true. Maybe you don't have cookies or soda every day. But the tricky part is that sugar hides in so many unexpected places, often under different names. High fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltose. These are all just sneaky ways sugar finds its way into our diet. And because it's addictive, the more we have, the more we crave. The problem is, as we age, our bodies don't process sugar as efficiently as they used to. What might have been harmless in our 30s or 40s can become dangerous in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. The extra sugar in our bloodstream can lead to energy crashes, joint pain, and even contribute to memory problems. But here's the good news. Cutting back doesn't mean giving up sweetness altogether. You don't have to quit sugar cold turkey. That's not realistic. Instead, start by making small swaps. If you add sugar to your coffee or tea, try using less over time. If you love dessert, switch to natural sweeteners like honey or fresh fruit. And when you're shopping, check the labels. Look for hidden sugars and choose whole foods whenever possible. A simple trick? If a food has more than 5 ingredients, and you can't pronounce half of them, chances are it's loaded with hidden sugars and additives. Stick to foods that are fresh and minimally processed, and your body will thank you for it. Now, let's move on to another habit that can have a major impact on your longevity. One that's less about what you put in your body and more about what you carry in your heart. Holding on to stress and negativity. Stress is something we all deal with, but chronic stress, when it becomes part of our daily life, can be just as harmful as smoking or eating an unhealthy diet. It weakens your immune system, raises blood pressure, and increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. And here's something most people don't realize. Stress accelerates aging at a cellular level. Scientists have found that chronic stress can shorten something called telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of our DNA that keep our cells young and healthy. When telomeres shrink, aging speeds up. Think about that for a moment. Holding on to anger, resentment, or worry isn't just affecting your mood. It's literally affecting your body, making you age faster and increasing your risk of illness. But the good news is, just as stress can harm us, learning to let go of it can help us heal. So how do we do that? First, acknowledge that some things are simply out of our control. Worry about the past or stressing over things we can't change only drains our energy. Instead, focus on what you can control, your mindset, your habits, and how you choose to respond to challenges. One powerful way to release stress is through deep breathing. It sounds simple, but taking slow, deep breaths helps signal to your body that you're safe, calming your nervous system in an instant. Next time you feel overwhelmed, try this. Breathe in deeply for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Then exhale slowly for 4 seconds. Repeat a few times, and you'll feel an immediate shift. Another way to reduce stress: spend time in nature, whether to walk in the park, sitting by a window with a view of trees, or even tending to a small garden. Being in nature naturally lowers stress hormones and lifts your mood. And finally, don't underestimate the power of gratitude. When you wake up in the morning, instead of focusing on what's wrong, take a moment to think about one thing you're grateful for. It could be as simple as the warmth of the sun, a good cup of coffee, or a call from a loved one. Shifting your focus to gratitude can change your entire outlook on life, helping you feel lighter, happier, and more at peace. Now that we've covered the dangers of too much sugar and the hidden toll of stress, let's move on to one final habit that could be quietly taking years off your life: social isolation. Loneliness isn't just an emotional feeling. It's a real physical health risk. Research shows that chronic loneliness can be as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It weakens the immune system, increases inflammation, and raises the risk of heart disease, depression, and even dementia. But here's the tricky part. Many people don't even realize they're becoming socially isolated. It doesn't always happen overnight. Maybe a close friend moved away. Family members are busy with their own lives, or health issues make it harder to get out like you used to. Before you know it, days go by without meaningful interaction, and that quiet loneliness starts to creep in. And here's the thing: being alone and feeling lonely are two different things. Some people enjoy solitude and feel perfectly happy in their own company, while others are surrounded by people but still feel isolated. The key is connection, real, meaningful connection. Having conversations that make you smile, spending time with people who uplift you, and feeling like you belong. So if you've been feeling a little disconnected lately, here are some simple ways to bring more connection into your life. First, make an effort to reach out. I know it can be hard, especially if you're used to waiting for others to call first, but don't be afraid to take the lead. A simple phone call, a message, or even just stopping by a neighbor's house for a quick chat can make all the difference. Second, look for opportunities to be around people, even in small ways. If you like reading, consider joining a book club at the library. If you enjoy music, see if there's a local group or event where you can meet others with similar interests. And if mobility is a challenge, don't underestimate the power of online communities. There are so many virtual groups where you can connect with others, share stories, and even make new friends from the comfort of your home. And finally, if you ever feel like you don't have anything to offer in a conversation, remember this: the best way to connect with others is to simply listen. People love to feel heard, and sometimes just asking someone how they're doing and really listening to their answer can build a stronger connection than you might expect. Loneliness doesn't have to be a part of aging. By taking small steps to stay connected, you're not just improving your mood, you're protecting your health, keeping your mind sharp, and most importantly, adding more joy to your life. So, we've covered 4 dangerous habits that could be cutting your life short: sitting too much, poor sleep, excessive sugar, and social isolation. Now, here's the good news. Just as these habits can take away from your health, breaking them can add years to your life. And you don't have to make drastic changes overnight. Even small steps, like standing up more often, improving your sleep routine, cutting back on sugar, managing stress, and reaching out to loved ones, can make a big difference. The key to living longer isn't just about avoiding bad habits. It's about replacing them with habits that bring you energy, purpose, and joy. Every day is a new opportunity to take care of yourself. And no matter what age you are, it's never too late to start. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits do you struggle with the most? Have you already made changes in your life to improve your health? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give a like and subscribe to the channel for more tips on living a happier, healthier life. Every little change counts, and I'm here to help you along the way. Thank you for spending this time with me today. And remember, you have the power to create a longer, healthier, and more joyful life.